And it's my pleasure to interact with you on the steps taken by various governments, in particularly Telangana government during the COVID-19 that is rampant even as of today, and what governments are doing, how they are managing the e-governance solutions at their hand, and what is to be done in uh, coming days. So, my presentation I would like to share now. The topic which I'll be presenting before all of you is COVID-19 crisis to opportunities in governance. And now what happened? Let us have a look back. You are all aware from the mid-March in Government of India and various state governments are now under total disruption of the systems due to this virus, which is pandemic. It has created such a never unprecedented kind of thing that the governance systems are disrupted. Lockdown has been imposed, and governments on one hand has to manage this pandemic, and the other hand they have to ensure what we call as government service continuity. So they have to see that the citizens still get some services, though may not be to the full extent, but yes. And on the other hand, if you see the businesses, industries are closed, naturally the government revenue is depleted, government focus in this period is shifted in containing virus spread and monitoring lockdown restrictions. Now, what kind of measures various state governments took, particularly the Telangana government, I will be elucidating in our later slides. But here, the e-governance solutions deployed across the country during the lockdown phase also, as you are aware, is the number one is Arogya Setu app, which informs citizens about their safety, whether they are safe or not, whether there are any COVID-19 patients in the vicinity. Similarly, the T-COVID-19 app is another major app which highlights and ensures that sharing the information, dissemination of the right information to the citizen is ensured through this. Healthcare management, which have been built on the various e-governance platforms earlier, like hospital management systems, telemedicine, e-Aushadhi, all these things are functional, and that has helped during the lockdown. Lockdown management was as you know, the people were not aware, they were coming on the roads. So the tracking public movement, ensuring the curfew hours was a major challenge to police and to the government. And here the technology like drones and CCTV network, watching the people movement, analyzing through AI, this has been deployed. And the virus affected persons are tracked. They have been put in the database, and technology has been used to trace their relatives and their near and dear so that the virus can be fully tracked and controlled. One more important thing during this period of lockdown is agriculture operations. Agriculture operations continuity during this period was a major step and bold step taken by Telangana government, and paddy procurement, particularly the paddy cultivation area, the ensuring of the procurement of paddy, whatever number it comes, there was no restriction, and this also I will be highlighting in one specific slide how these agriculture operations have helped the people of Telangana come out of this COVID and how government has used technology for that. Then government revenues, though they were depleting through the taxation source, but still the online electricity, water billing, property tax collection and other revenue collections, whatever were online and built systems were built earlier, they were functional. And we can say that this has helped our government to large extent where they can still manage with whatever revenue can come, and with the additional support they can draw from various methods. Now let's go to the next slide, and here we can see the Coming to the impact of COVID-19 on governance during now the as you are aware that the lockdown has been partially lifted and then it's still going on, but most of the activities have been resumed. The industry operations began and the economy is trying to come back on the rail. But there are further challenges, and you can see here the impact of this pandemic on governance during now unlocking process. Now, in unlocking, what has been the challenging part before the government right now is number one, here you see the education sector is the worst affected. The education sector even now is not open for physical conduct of the schools or colleges. So right now from the beginning in the March, it started with school and college examination. Some examinations are postponed, some examinations are cancelled. The evaluations, naturally they are affected. The result processing was a major challenge because the evaluators coming together and evaluating was a difficult process. Then if you do not have a e-governance kind of some system, then result processing is a major challenge. Here we fared very good. I will be sharing a slide on this. Then admission in the school and colleges for the new academic year, because we are in the month of June and the admissions now would have been started, on some bases would have been completed also. They are not yet been done. Then the conduct of classes is a major challenge. Internal examination, and this loop or this process will continue. This is a, I think the education sector has a major challenge before them, how they can function during the unlocking period or after this totally, everything is resumed, then also this problem will remain. Now, government offices functioning, there's another challenge or another impact of, if you see here, the government offices functioning, what is happening as on date also. The attendance of officials 20 to 50%, total disruption in physical meetings cannot take place. And normally the governments, most of the state governments or government of India to that matter, functions through physical meetings. And attendance in the official, people meet and then take orders, execute. And how do they execute? Through the file system. So it is a physical file system. There is a disruption in this. Then the interaction, the government is for citizens and citizens would like to meet them, and either for grievances or for suggestions or for some whatever their work. So they are unable to come and meet. So we can say the government offices functioning during the unlock process also is a major challenge or impact is that G2B services, G2C services are also taking a hit. So they need to be ramped up, and of course there something has to be done drastically on the government revenues. There has to be new avenues to be found out how these revenues for the government can be improved. Now, if we go to the next slide, we'll see here that the now let us look at the important initiatives taken by various governments, particularly Telangana government during the lockdown and after the lockdown, that is in unlock period. What are the new initiatives? I would like to share a few of the case studies which we did, measures we took in Telangana. On here you can see in the governance space, in education, in agriculture, construction, and the local government. So let's see one by one. The first one is now how the scenario will be changed. The post, the peak of COVID or something, we have to live with the virus for a pretty long period, and probably the whole governance will change post COVID as well. So that's what it is called a new normal or new norm. Now, virtual office and work from home in government sector, it has become a necessity. It is no more a novelty. As you can see here, the physical meetings, it was the norm. Now we have shifted to the virtual meetings. This is being done through the public platforms right now, and like GoToMeeting, the Zoho, Zoom, and government of India is coming up with the own platform soon. They are already working on it. Then earlier the norm was working from office, which you are aware. Now it will be shifting working from home. Now, what what are the challenges in working from home? How the work can be taken? That is another one. Third one is the physical file system. There is a imperant need now to shift to the e-file or e-office system. Unless the filing and decision making is on file, which is in electronic shape, the governments may not able to function to their full productive or effective uh, ways of working, which were earlier. Now you see here the hiring of employees, the infrastructure, the work-life balance. These are all terms which we talk about the employees working in the private sector. But they are equally applicable now in the government sector, which government did not think about. But this pandemic has forced us, and this WFH has to stay. We have to find out the ways and means how this can be effected very fast. And just I would like to share here that CGG has a total office management suite. It is called CGG's virtual office or virtue suite. We have e-filing system. Then we have a tapal or dark management. It is called, that is the inward outward. Then we have a meetings monitoring system, which is a unique initiative of CGG. Of course, the SMS email alerts, the documents management system, a communication center, leave management, employee management, performance appraisal. These are part of the human resource management, but these are required because the may not be full-fledged, but little bit required. But office management system, if you see here, we definitely require the e-file, the tuple, minutes of the meeting, documents management, communication center. So CGG has a total virtual suite for that purpose. And so going forward, this will become a norm. We should be prepared. We have a tool, and it will be uh, good on our part to be prepared and take immediate steps. Now let us look at the second sector, that is the education sector. Here we have done a couple of initiatives which are working. But if you see the total challenges which I have explained already, that education system needs a total different outlook, right from the admissions, the teaching, learning, right, shifting the classroom kind of learning to the e-learning. This is necessary. We need open source digital learning solutions, because on a large scale, which will consume technology wise lesser bandwidth and are accessible to the remotest corner. This is a very challenging task, and government of India is taking a very important step by providing or developing this Diksha platform, which will reach across India and will be accessible. It's more important. That is, a poor student not having any devices and not able to afford also should able to get this education. Then universal access, personalization, then online textbook supply, study material, tracking the performance, improving the productivity in this new environment. These are so many challenges which are coming up in the education sector. And here, what we can expect or what we can do, we have contributed something. That's the first case study is about, in the education sector, is about the IT solution which CGG has deployed for Telangana Board of Intermediate Education. Here, if you can see on the slide, that right from the admission module and fee payment, the center constitution, everything, the admissions, the conduct of examination, then the result processing, including hall ticket, evaluation, supplementary exam, everything is designed by CGG for this year 2020, and this has really helped them because the exams were conducted in March and then this pandemic started, lockdown started. So what happened is the result processing has got stuck. Now imagine the result processing of 55 lakh answer sheet would have been such a major challenge for the government or the board, but because of the this IT solution, e-governance solution in place, this was done very systematically and everything has been processed properly so that the result can be published on time with all precautions, comparisons and all. This is one initiative I just wanted to put before you. Those state governments have these kind of solutions for the either SSC or for intermediate and for other education sector. They are definitely in a better position. So this is also need of the hour that they have to shift, and other state governments also take a cue from this, and then they can shift to the e-governance systems. Similarly, for now going forward for degree admissions, we have this admission to the degree colleges called DOST, or acronym is DOST. In this, there are 6 universities and 1200 colleges, 250 courses. The admission can be taken online very easily from his house. Any student can get admission for degree colleges of his choice and course of his choice, and the payment can also be made online. So this kind of thing is in existence, and over 3 lakh students are benefited so far. This system is there since last 3 years. We have developed at CGG and refined, and we have perfected this system. Now the authentication was Aadhaar based, and so that all kind of malpractices in the admission process was cut down. And this kind of initiative integrating across the universities in a state is first of its kind. We are very happy that we can support these kind of similar initiatives for other state governments as well. Now coming back to another important sector which I was mentioning earlier was for agriculture, that is online paddy procurement. How this has changed the face of agriculture in our state government. Here the paddy is a major crop. Paddy procurement, because government has to help by giving the minimum support price. This year, because of the government initiatives, a bumper crop came because of a lot of irrigation facilities have been developed. But now the MSP, that is 11,873 crore, has been paid online to more than 10 lakh farmers, which is highest in the country. And during this pandemic time, there was a continuity of operation on agriculture front, so that 50% of the population is gainfully and meaningfully they were working, and there was no loss of their wages. They were also been paid the MSP, and the huge procurement compared to last year. The number of centers have been more than doubled. Even then, the solution was so robust. We call it online procurement management system. This has helped. The e-governance solution has helped in smooth procurement of paddy based on the tabs, based on the mobile, and based on the it's very easy solution. Sending the SMSs in time, sending the statuses where the center can be opened very quickly anywhere in the remote corner of the state. So these kind of solutions, I believe they are required during this pandemic and afterwards also. Then another case study I would like to share on the construction. Now you are aware that construction sector is opening up, and what is required, the construction material like cement, sand, and most of the governments, the sand control because of various reasons, so that the rivers do not get depleted, and for the sand mining has to be controlled. So on the other hand, government then has to ensure the sand supply. If it is not there, the construction activities will get a bad hit. So here we have developed last year in CGG for the mining department or various sand mining societies are there district wise, and we are providing more than for 11 districts this sand mining support, or the it is like the you buy something from Amazon. Similarly, customer can book for a sand, and then sand will be delivered, and you will sign on the mobile like Amazon. And there was a great improvement in revenues and the services, optimization of these services over these 11 districts have given a wonderful results. Now even this year, as soon as the government started lifting the or unlocking phase has begun, the construction activity started. Requirement of sand was huge, and we are happy that this initiative or this e-governance solution has helped the government to immediately come back in the business, and they have from May itself they have delivered 43 crores of revenues to the government and huge amount of sand transportation. The whole solution is optimized based on the mobile and based on the verification processes have been simplified. It's a wonderful system. We call it Mana Isuko Vahanam in Telugu. That is my sand mining vehicle. Then we'd like to share with you how a local government responsibilities are, how they function in this critical period, and how e-governance can help them, in this difficult times and going forward. What happens if you see here the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, or for that matter, any municipal corporation, bigger corporation in the country, in any state, they are having these functions, of the providing day-to-day services. Now, sanitation, the most important, the roads which are within the municipal limits, the facilities which, for the conduct of business, trade, like then trade licenses, the birth and death records, the property tax collection, street lighting, a number of functions. These all functions are to be 24 by 7 being delivered by GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Corporation. But with the pandemic, now what happened? The COVID related duties naturally have taken precedence. You can see here, round the clock, the staff was engaged on battle against the virus, and then administration of the containment zones, coordinating with different teams, with the police, with the traffic, with the other government departments, then spraying disinfectants, setting up camps, food distribution, and extensive inspection, tracing the COVID cases, improving city road network. Everything has to be done. So, what will happen if we deploy the same amount of machinery for both? It's difficult, almost next to impossible. This additional burden on the human resources, and there is a financial crunch because the lockdown, the revenues will deplete. For them also it has depleted. But what we have provided is the robust, about 40 applications or 40 modules we run for this robust kind of GHMC e-governance solution. And what we provide is literally for everything, right from the grievance redressal, property tax collection, trade license, advertisement, sanitation, everywhere, all kind of modules. This has relieved their burden. So the government or the local government was functioning as effectively, at least for these other functions. So the workload the GHMC could able to focus in a much better way on the COVID related activities because their backend or their e-governance major solution is functioning properly. And in that case, we have also helped them on various the new initiatives related to the COVID. Now, the important part is the revenues were depleting, but when they opened in the month of, they have given us special offers in the month of April and May, and they have marked up about more than 500 crores of revenue in that short period because their e-governance solution on collection of property tax was perfectly functioning. I think this is the takeaway that the local governments, how they have to work in post-COVID era, or this is a new norm now. So they must provide, and I think long term, a small solution I have deployed long back. It's called e-immunization, which was incubated when I was studying for my fellowship in Stanford. And this e-immunization solution, I think the need of the hour because this virus is basically hitting the immunity. And if the immunity is strong, there is nothing to worry for anyone. And this basic immunity is provided by our immunization programs across the country, where we give six against immunization against the six deadly diseases. And the immunization percentage normally, because it is not a curative, it is a preventive care, and preventive care in India to achieve the kind of percentages is very difficult. We say we achieve 70%, 80%, but on the ground level, what we give is only the first shot of that immunization of the either the polio drops or you give the DPT and all. But all the six kind of requirements over a matrix of about 2 to 3 years is difficult to follow. An e-governance solution is very handy here. You can see on the screen that we have demonstrated the time that from 60% you can go up to 90%, and now more technology advancements have come that we can reach through SMS. We can mobile based solutions are very handy, and I think in long run this will help to build a strong immunity, because COVID-19 is just a jolt. There might be other viruses which may attack, and our preparedness on other fronts may be good, but internal immunity is also equally important. So I would like to thank all of you. CGG is working in good governance sector. We are a Center for Good Governance. We provide various solutions for, we call knowledge side, that is the consultancy, how to improve governance, how to handle change management, how to work post-COVID era. We are working on various kind of assignments in different sectors, right? From agriculture, from the transport sector, we are working in R&D, we are working in governance, almost all sectors. We are trying to help the governments, not only the Telangana government, it's a Telangana government-owned body, but we are helping various state governments and we are helping Government of India in this sector. We also undertake a lot of e-governance solutions, which you have seen, which are need of the hour last 10 years. We are also in the e-governance and m-governance space. We are developing and deploying various solutions around the clock and coming to the rescue of the various state governments. Again, the international agencies like UNICEF, UNDP, World Bank, we work with them. Strategic consultancy and the e-governance solutions is the hub. We are also in the AI and the blockchain technology. We also believe in quality, so we have a thrust on these certifications. We have now ISO 9001, ISO 27001 for the information security, and CMI development 3 certification for the development of software solutions. So here with this quality, we support various governments. I would like to, we have a lot of infrastructure facilities which are required, our own data center, our own DR center, and the clientele spread across various governments. You can see here, right, from whether it is police or whether it is a Chhattisgarh government, Andhra government, Madhya Pradesh government, Karnataka government, UNICEF, WHO. We provide support on the knowledge as well as the governance to all of them. So I would like to thank all of you and wish thank you very much.